Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Putin!
Well, good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, Ben. How are you today?
I'm okay. We are slightly bigger.
Oh, we are slightly bigger. I think I might have to sit up a bit more.
We're filling the screen a bit more. Oh, you're looking wonderful. You are.
Threw me off there.
Well, yeah, you're looking wonderful.
Okay.
Okay. How? Well, yeah, I'm okay. I had a bit of a really bad day yesterday, as you know. I was not well at all. And it was also my daughter's 6th birthday, so that was fun. I had to adult and have loads of adults and children in my home, and I had to cook for them all. And
it's never great, that is it?
No,
I don't like cooking, and I certainly don't like other people's children. It's just something I just don't do well with.
So DW says in our chat, he's got no faith in me or you, because look at that. He says, I see Adam's been at the OBS.
Well, the thing is, though, is he wrong? Is he wrong, man?
No, he's not. He's not wrong.
Well, there you go.
He's not wrong at all.
You're right, DW. Adam has been at the OBS.
Yeah,
and it's lovely. It's lovely. I think it's lovely.
Yeah.
And we've done away with those horrible yellow bars, haven't we?
Yes, we have. He says been watching the Discord, and if Adam does come along at any point, he can give you a link to the Discord, because you should join it. It's free if you haven't already. You should.
Yeah, you should. You should.
It's free, right? It doesn't cost you anything. It's totally free. And it's our little slice of free speech heaven. So what do you want to talk about before we go?
In the preamble.
Yeah.
The preamble. Yes, I'd like to talk about Died Suddenly.
Okay.
Which is this documentary, independently made documentary, from the same people that brought you Watch the Water. And I must admit, I did not like Watch the Water.
I didn't even watch it because I just heard so many bad things from you that I didn't see a point.
It was factually inaccurate and a bit of a mess. Right. But apart from that, this started off quite poorly, in my view.
Okay.
It did start off quite poorly. And it did. It shows things that you probably wouldn't want to show, because then you're going to go down the, you're just a tinfoil hat wearing nutter.
Okay.
You know? So if you put yourself in that category right at the start of your programme, what is the point in going on for another hour, you know?
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to expose yourself as a tinfoil hat wearing nutter, do it at the end.
Absolutely.
You know, so people have at least watched it, and then they can make up their mind. But you don't do it straight out the gate.
Yeah.
So there was that. It was a bit. It came on a bit harsh, and then it came on to this problem that we have, and we've seen this problem many times, and everybody's seen it. We've seen people pulling things out of, people's circulatory systems, that people that have died, right?
Yeah.
So we've seen this a lot. Now, surely when you're making a budget movie like not a big budget, but if you're making a movie like this, surely you could find even just a little bit of money to send the bloody thing to a lab and tell us what it is.
Did they not do that?
No, they didn't. So what's the point? I mean, you can call it anything you like if you don't know what it is. What's it made out of? What's causing it?
Yeah.
Send it to lab. If it's made from purely human tissues as a result of a reaction to something, fine.
Yeah.
But let us know. This is just very poorly done.
That's unfortunate, because we've spoke about this actually recently. We spoke about this problem, this hashtag died suddenly problem, and it is a problem, right? Mm-hmm. And it is a problem that needs investigating, and it really does. But you need to investigate it. Now, saying that this thing is happening, great. Okay, brilliant. But like John said, what's causing it? Show us. Send it to a lab. Have it analysed. Make sure you know what you're doing, because this is a real issue. And if you're not doing these things, people are going to dismiss you. They are. They're going to dismiss you. And then, when anybody else wants to pop up and say, this is an issue, they'll go, but look what they did. Look what they did. Look what they did. And then you're instantly put into that category. It's no good. It's no good.
I mean, the only thing I can maybe think of is they tried and there wasn't a lab that would touch it.
I think you could be right. I do.
If that's the case, tell us.
Yeah, say we tried sending this off to this lab for analysis, this lab, and they said no. But purely because of who was behind the film, you could well be right. Because we saw a debate, didn't we? We witnessed a debate between two scientists, well, a scientist and an alleged scientist, shall we say. And one of them said, okay, you've got something we want. Could you send it to our labs to have them analysed? And the guy turned around and he kept saying, no. I don't know if I trust your labs. No, I won't. I don't know if we trust them.
I'm not going to work with you.
How does that help the public conversation?
Doesn't help anything, mate. It doesn't help humanity. It doesn't help the human race. I'm just not going to work with you. I don't trust you.
No.
Because I'm an arrogant bastard.
So Artifacting Reality says, what dodgy stuff did they say at the start? I'm assuming it's something we don't want to be repeating on this channel.
No, but if I was able to say it, I would have said it.
Yeah.
Right? So, have a look at it. It's worth having a look at. But I'm just pointing out the things I was disappointed with. It's not as bad as Watch the Water.
So I've got a question here in the chat, and Luke Honeyfunder asks, and this is slightly off topic, and he says, I have a question for you guys and would appreciate your thoughts on it. What are 15-minute cities? That's not really a term I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's Oxford and Cambridge.
In what sense?
Well, everything that you need is within 15 minutes of your home. So if you go out of your sector, you're going to get fined. If you go out of your sector for more than 3 or 4 times a year or something like that, you're going to get fined, because there's no need for you to be out of your sector, because everything's within 15 minutes of your house. That's what they're going to trial.
That is 1984 levels of absurdity.
That's Hunger Games.
It's Hunger Games.
It's your sector. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what we'll call your sector. Maybe we'll call your sector Fox, and the other person's sector might be Hedgehog. Or it might be A or B or whatever. But yeah, you will live in your sector, and you will be happy. You will own nothing, but you will be happy.
You will live in a far-reaching dystopian nightmare, and you'll smile about it, because if you don't, you will be fined.
Yeah. I may have to pop out briefly. I'm expecting a delivery, but it would only be for seconds, not even minutes, okay?
No problem, and I'm sure we'll cross that proverbial bridge when we come to it. But before we do, John, you know what to do.
Yes, I do. I think I do. I'd like to welcome you all to this episode 164 of Chasing Dissent Live. From me, John, and from Ben. We love you. Welcome. Episode 164.
I do like the much shorter intro. I do.
Yeah? Good. I'm pleased. This pleases me.
Yeah, it pleases me greatly as well. And look, we've even had a little bit of a revamp of this as well. We're now in squares, John. We're in squares.
Squares.
We're in squares.
We are indeed in squares.
Do you like my square?
Yeah, it's like celebrity squares. No, it looks really good actually. There's a what would you call it? A 3D texture to the for the frame.
Yeah,
that looks excellent. It looks better than it looked this morning on
stunning.
It's because I'm probably watching it in higher def on a better monitor than I was this morning.
Well done, Adam.
I had you on a teeny screen. I had you on a teeny screen while I was doing something else. But but yeah, no, it's good.
So Adam's done a good job, and then I've done a good job building it, have I? It all looks wonderful. It looks good.
That's what we should do. So what we need to do is we need to do this kind of trick where I pour the water and it lands on your head.
Yeah, but then I'll get wet.
Yeah, only briefly.
It's fucking cold, John. I don't want water on my head right now. I just had a bath and then did the hairdryer.
We could heat the water.
Oh, okay. I suppose then I could be convinced. I could.
Maybe we'll do it in April or something. I forgot to call up my slides.
You forgot to call up your slides. Trudy says, afternoon all, looking good. And for the three of you, including Trudy, who have purchased a ball, my wife has told me my handwriting is shit. So she is going to lovingly craft the balls for you, and they should be on the tree by tomorrow. So I think...
Nice. Your handwriting is shit.
You're not supposed to agree with her, John.
Sorry.
You're supposed to say your handwriting's lovely, Ben. It's wonderful. I don't know what she's talking about.
But Ben, you know me. I don't often lie. I normally tell the truth.
Yeah, but lying to stroke my ego is a different story.
But you know me. I'm not an ego stroker.
You tell me how attractive I am all the time.
Yeah, but that's just accurate. I'm not stroking your ego. I'm just telling you how it is. As you know, I call it as I see it. And speaking of calling it as I see it, do you think Nicola's going to take it? Is she going to take it?
We're not going to take it. No, we ain't going to take it. We're not going to take it. Anymore.
So, so the Supreme Court has ruled that Scottish Parliament does not have the right to call an independence referendum.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they have ruled that is the case. Subject to changes in the law, as a reserved matter, it can only be dealt with by Westminster.
What, like we already knew?
Yeah, and she's only spent, I mean, you'll see the next slide, I think she's only spent, a considerable amount of millions, if not billions, over the last 8 years in trying to pursue this foolhardy and foolish task. And the thing that gets me is you got clowns like Salmon jumping on going, democracy is, you can only delay democracy, you can't kill it. Well, a couple of issues with that statement. One, I thought history, if anything, tells us that democracy is nothing but an illusion, right? Doesn't really exist. And two, was the first referendum not democracy then?
Yeah, but that's the same argument can be made for Brexit, isn't it? The best answer for Brexit is more democracy, they say. Well, what? Because the democracy that you got you didn't like. That's what's going on here.
That's the problem. It's not the fact that democracy has been subverted. It's the fact that they didn't like the result.
They didn't like the answer. It's as simple as that. So look here. Sturgeon spent £1.5 million of taxpayers' cash having civil servants drawing up plans for Indy 2, specifically employed for that one role on a salary of £70,000. SNP government civil servants spent 15,000 hours on preparing Skexit.
What a fucking waste of time.
Well, at least
a complete and utter waste of time and public money.
I was going to say,
not that money really exists anymore anyway, but it's still a waste of it.
At least she's not trying to float this one on the sea, so you know.
Maybe somebody will put her windows in.
This woman, right, Scotland.
Yeah.
This woman is a joke. And you keep electing her. You are turkeys voting for Christmas.
But hey. Well, Look at any country in the world. What's going on just now? The most unfavourable candidate gets voted in.
It doesn't make any sense, does it?
Apart from Italy, which seems to have taken this kind of sensible step, everybody else, I mean, Macron get voted back in, Trudeau get voted back in, Johnson get voted back in, before they did their fuck about. What's his name? Bolsonaro get voted out, Trump get voted out. So the most unlikely candidate seems to win all the time.
Well, the most unlikable, at least, not the most unlikely.
Yeah. Well, the most inept and incompetent seems to win the day. So it seems to be, it's like they say. It's like this clown Schwab goes on about penetrating the world's cabinet.
Penetrate the cabinet. Penetrate.
You see, when he said that,
yeah,
should every government not be going, hold on a minute, that's a security issue?
You would think so. You would think
so. Yeah, but no. It's fine. It's okay. The Prime Minister's in the World Economic Forum and he's working for Klaus Schwab. But that's fine, because that's not a security issue. Even though Schwab, the son of a SS officer, it says he has penetrated the cabinets around
allegedly.
the world. No, he did say it.
No, I know what he said.
He's not alleged. He is the son.
Yeah, but
his dad was an officer. There's no alleged anywhere in that.
Good old Mr.
That's just fact.
So Adam's here.
Hi, Adam.
He says, "Hey, I'm here. All sorry, had an emergency daughter home from school. Oh dear."
Was it your own daughter or was it somebody else's?
I mean, let's hope.
It's like, hey, is that the school? I need an emergency daughter. Have one sent round immediately. Okay. If we were in Gettr, it'd be, send me a fresh boy. This one's broken.
Oh, good God. Did you know in Qatar, right? In Qatar, before we move on, the way that the family structure works is this: the father is the sole caregiver to the child, or responsibility to the child, right?
Okay.
And if the father dies, this is absolutely true. What I'm telling you, if the father dies and there is no older male relative within the house to assume responsibility for the child, the government takes the child away from the mother.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This is the place where people have gone to play football.
Yeah, see, when you actually study history or look at, or even just come across stuff, it's amazing the stuff you find out, like the ancient Hindu practice of sati. Mm-hmm. And remember, our Prime Minister's a Hindu. Mm-hmm. So when the UK took over India, right, when Great Britain colonised India, they banned the practice of sati.
Right.
Okay. And the practice of sati was when the male of the house died. Yeah. Okay. His widow was thrown onto the funeral pyre as he was burnt. That was the practice of sati. And the UK, well, the British government banned it as the colonial power in that time. And the Hindu priests used to come up and go, you have no right to ban our traditional practices. This is not on. We want to be able to practice sati. And they said, okay, well, I tell you what, fair dues. You want to practice sati, that's fine. So you can apply your laws and we'll apply our laws as well, and we'll come to an agreement. So your law says if the male member of the house dies, the widow is burnt with him on the funeral pyre, even though she's still alive. And our law says if you kill someone, we hang you. So needless to say, sati stopped. So there's one thing that's actually come out of the UK colonising another country that's actually quite a good thing. But hey, everything we did was bad, and we need to pay reparations for it, don't we?
Oh, apparently so, apparently so. Despite the fact that me and you would be paying those reparations, and we never did those things.
No, we didn't do them. But having
mean,
said that, if I was there and I had the power, I would stop Sati too. I don't think it's fair.
I think you're absolutely right. He's barbaric.
It's barbaric, mate.
Yeah.
And I thought Hindus were quite easygoing, but maybe not.
Well, who
Maybe
knows?
not.
Should we move on anyway?
Yeah, let's move on.
Speaking to something which seems quite barbaric, what are the energy companies up to, John?
Well, only what we've been saying for the last 2 years.
Oh, what you mean that?
If you've got a smart meter, they can turn it off remotely without a visit.
Do you know what? We should literally make tinfoil hats.
Yeah, we should.
We should make them.
It's just another conspiracy theory come true.
It's insane. It's insane. And do you know what? We were forced. Well, I say we were forced. We moved into a property with smart meters, and they won't change them over. We've requested several times for them to be gone.
You should fight it, because apparently they might not need to change the meter, but you can ask them to decommission it. Other than that, what I would suggest is, and this might sound strange, but see if you build a Faraday cage around it.
Yeah.
That might be quite good.
That might work.
Yeah, just a fine mesh cage, like a sieve or something like that.
Yeah, just
But you need to be front and back. Okay.
Yeah, that's
So you don't need to dig off the wall, but if you've got the wall on the other side, if it's like an outside wall, just put a Faraday cage over where just work out where the meter is and put a Faraday cage over that side as well, and that'll stop it communicating back to the mothership.
So we were talking about.
They'll just have to ask you for readings.
They will, but we were
Like
talking
everybody
about.
else should.
Yes, of course. You should be doing your own meter readings and things like that. We were talking about this next slide the other day, and it looks like we've got more here now. So
Yes.
It's insane. The Ontario doctors are instructed to medicate you if you don't want to take a coof treatment. I can't really read what's highlighted there, but
Yeah. I mean, highlighted there we have. Oh God, what have we got highlighted there? It doesn't matter. Basically, it's just I put it up because it's a reiteration of what we did report on the other day. And it is actually happening. And it does specify, as you can see, it is specifying Ontario doctors, which is what we said.
Yes.
At that time, it was reported as Canada, but it's not. It's specific to Ontario at the moment.
Seems to be a trial.
Yes. So it seems to be if you do this in Ontario and you don't want to take any treatment, then you're likely to be medicated with psychiatric drugs.
How can people be getting away with that?
How dystopian is the world becoming?
But how can people... Who decides what is and is not required for...
No, the government, the nanny state is...
Yeah, but we never...
They're looking out for you.
But
They're only doing it for your own good. It's for your own good.
See, look.
It's only for your own good. Don't worry.
These people are hired representatives, and Spencer asked in the chat.
No. We'll look after you. We'll do everything for you. You don't need to worry.
No.
You'll want nothing. You'll be happy. You might be a little bit medicated, but you'll be happy.
Yeah, you'll be happy because those dopamine hits will be coming thick and fast because we'll be giving them to you. Yeah. We'll be giving you those dopamine hits. But Spencer asked in the chat, isn't that a violation of the Geneva Convention? I think it could be. I do think it could be.
In what respect? Because is the Geneva Convention not when in times of warfare?
But is this not a time of warfare against our own government?
See, this is the problem, isn't it? This is the problem.
I mean, I know that sounds really, really hyperbolic, and I know that sounds out there, but your government, if they're doing things like this to you, are they not declaring war on you? Are they not?
Oh, yeah, I'm with you on this. But from a legal perspective, you'd be hard pushed to say that the government's at war with you.
Natasha says...
purely from a legal perspective.
Natasha says in the chat, sent to a re-education camp, you will love Big Brother.
You will. Of course you will.
You will love Big Brother.
Yeah, and then the last thing the government said was to ignore your eyes and ears and believe everything that was being told to you by Jacinda Ardern.
Yeah, well, exactly right. Exactly right.
I'm paraphrasing, of course.
Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are your single source of truth. And not only that, we're going to go to the United Nations and we're going to tell the United Nations that we're not just New Zealand's single source of truth, we're the world's single source of truth, and that we need them to fight any other source of truth. I mean, any other source of fiction.
I mean, George Orwell obviously did not realise he was writing a fucking blueprint instead of a fiction novel. It turned out to be a manual.
It's terrifying, isn't it? It's absolutely terrifying.
It's worse than that, mate.
Yeah, but this is the world we're living in now, and people still look at you and call you a conspiracy theorist as they quietly walk down the hill themselves towards the slaughterhouse, metaphorically, of course, right?
Yeah.
But that's what's going on here. The last 2.5 years have taught you anything. It's that people are easily swayed. They are very malleable. You can control their actions. You can lock them in their homes with a little bit of fear. And it's not just that, right? Look how vitriolic some of these people turned. Some of these people were demanding not only people lose their jobs, but even to be placed in detention camps and things like that. For not.
Well, look at Dan Andrews.
Yeah, I mean, the man's a nutter.
Yeah, and Vanessa Feltz.
Nutter.
Jeremy Vile.
Nutter.
Piers Moron.
Well, Piers Moron now wants to repent, doesn't he? He's trying to repent.
He's not doing a very good job. I can't tell anymore anyway because he blocked me.
But he wants to repent. He's like, I think it was Andrew Tate he was interviewing.
Anthony Fauci.
Anthony Fauci. He's still getting the White House stage, though, isn't he?
Well, that was
despite
apparently
everything.
That was apparently his last statement today. His last statement today ever, and it was, guess what?
What?
Get your boosters. Get your boosters. If there's going to be a problem in the winter, it's going to be with the unvaccinated.
With the House Republicans now in control and controlling all of the committees and things like that, and them openly stating that they are going after Fauci.
Yeah, the guy should be preparing his defence.
Yeah,
that's what he should be
really should be. He really should be. I mean, we've seen some more unredacted FOIAs come out, Freedom of Informations, very recently regarding the lab leak theory, in which they knew from the off where this came from, and they're basically, well, trash that theory. Nope, didn't come from lab, They knew where it came from. They knew what it was. But they knew who did it, and they know who financed it.
Yep, and you know what? And this ties back to the smart meter thing as well, right? Anytime your government gives you something that you don't need to pay for, you have to question, is this really in my best interest?
Exactly. You're right. You're right. And probably not. It's probably not in your best interest. It's probably in their best interest in how they can control you, keep you down, keep you in your place, because that's all they want to do. Control the population, feather their own nest. And
if you as a government official step out of line, step away from the narrative, it seems to be these days that you just something happens and you end up unelected.
Isn't that right, Jair Bolsonaro?
Yeah.
Who is now challenging the results of the invalidated, and that says in inverted commas, we are just reporting this, YouTube, by the way, Brazilian election. Brazil's incumbent, and they put far right in there. I don't even know what that term means anymore, to be honest.
Well,
President.
I mean, if you're going to call him far right, shouldn't you be calling his far left wing rival? You know, if it's far right and far left, I mean, or is it, you know, what's wrong with just right and left?
Well, your guess is as good as mine there. Your guess is
what's wrong with just right and left, you know?
But the problem is, one of the major problems we're seeing is we're reporting this, right? We're reporting that he's challenging the results of this election. But this platform on which we are sitting currently This platform does not allow you to question that result.
No. We're not. Don't get us wrong. We're not questioning the result. We're only reporting the fact that Mr. Bolsonaro is questioning the result.
He is challenging it legally. He is doing so.
Speaking of legal things like sanctions and stuff like that, why do you think the UK would be sneaking Russian oil in?
Thanks to the shrewd use of loopholes in the sanctions regime, companies in the United Kingdom have continued to import Russian oil. I mean...
It's ludicrous, isn't it? I mean, it really is ludicrous. What was the point, people? What was the point? I mean, all we've done with imposing sanctions on Russia is harm ourselves.
Yeah.
All Europe's done is harm itself. All America's done is harm itself.
Yep.
The only people that are benefiting are Russia and China. China
is asshole.
Right?
Yes, it is.
They're benefiting, right? But I don't see any of us benefiting economically.
Well, no, we're not. But the thing is, it's not these sanctions on Russia that economically destroyed us, as they would lie to you and have you believe. It wasn't that. So this, of course, makes no difference, despite the fact that we are still importing their oil. It's making no economical difference to us, and it's no economical benefit or gain to us. And that is simply because, as I stated, many times now, the reason that we are in the financial economic crisis that we are in is because we closed our economy for 2.5 years. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that, because you cannot expect things to go on as normal when you just shutter everything for 2 years. And
exactly.
It's just crazy.
I mean, how many businesses don't exist anymore that did because of that
Thousands.
shuttering?
Tens of thousands.
That is millions, if not billions, being withheld from the public purse because there's no tax. It's gone. And you wonder why we have some kind of cost of living crisis? Because you wrecked the economy, Rishi Sunak.
Yeah.
Because you wrecked the economy. And then on top of that massive reduction in money being pumped into the public purse, you printed billions upon billions upon billions upon billions upon billions of pounds in fiat fucking currency, devaluing everything else that was already there. This is a problem of their making.
Inflation.
I mean, a disabled guy from England and a Scottish guy sitting here should not be giving economic lessons to the man that was Chancellor of the Exchequer. But here we go.
And as at least a millionaire himself. Right? But the thing that gets me is, and I don't think people understand this, because the Bank of England was reporting the other day that what were they reporting? They were saying something about they needed to do something. What the hell was it?
Tackle inflation, probably.
Well, I can't remember exactly what it was, but the Bank of England said that the UK needed to do something, and I was thinking to myself, why are we being told what to do by a private corporation?
But it's not just that. Why are we being told what to do by a private entity? But it's
but people don't understand that the Bank of England isn't part of the UK government.
No.
It's a private corporation. It's like the Federal Reserve. It's a private corporation.
Yeah.
It does not exist as part of government. It is not a wing of government. No. It is not beholden to government. And yet it has the policies and procedures in place that allow it to set things like the inflation rate, the interest rate. So how does that happen in a democracy?
We don't live. We don't live in a democracy.
We
don't live in a democracy. When they talk about, the shadow government, the sneaky cabal, that's a civil service. That's the Bank of England. These things, they stay in place. They stay in power. They continue to roll over and make policy, no matter who's in charge.
Yeah, I think it's only I think it's only China that actually owns the bank.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah, and probably some of these Middle Eastern countries, because you don't know what's going on in there, because they're run by royal families who don't tell you anything. They don't tell you their net worth. They don't tell you how much money they have. They don't tell you, they don't tell you anything at all. They don't tell you how many slaves died while Sorry, did I say that? Did that come out loud? Right, anyway. So they don't tell you anything, right? So you can't really count them because they are outside our complete knowledge and outside our system.
Yeah, and they will continue to be.
And speaking of being outside of our system, the profiteers are up in arms.
Yes, they are. Shell to review £25 billion investment in UK projects after windfall tax extended. So basically, the government have announced, so Jeremy Hunt has announced, they're going to extend the windfall tax on oil and gas companies to tax them a bit more. And they're not very happy about it, are they, John?
No, they're not. But how does this help us? Because it hasn't brought down the price of fuel.
Well, I don't know.
And it won't. It won't bring down the price of fuel because all they're doing is taxing their profits. So they're not going to cut their profits to cut their tax rate.
No.
Are they?
No.
Because the tax rate's less than 100%. Yeah? Therefore, no matter how much more profit they make, they'll always make a little bit more than they'll have to give back.
Well, exactly.
So unless the tax rate goes the other way and goes over 100%, they're never going to bring the price down. So thank you, Rishi Sunak and Jeremy Hunt. You're doing a fucking stand-up job and screwing us royally. And you haven't even given us the decency of a reach around or used lube. Thank you.
At least a bit of KY jelly, please, Jeremy. Yeah. You know, just a little bit. I mean, if you're not going to do that, at least take me for dinner first. Buy me a glass of wine. Woo me.
Just wasting your time, mate. You're wasting your time with these people.
Just giving them a bit of advice, that's all. That's all. Just a bit of handy advice. And I don't know how the hell we segue onto our next slide from this.
Mexico, the land of opportunity. So Mexico has two different faces, really, doesn't it? It's got the tourist face, and then it's got the dark underbelly, which is
drug cartels,
controlled by the drug cartels.
Yeah.
And this is a drug cartel town. And why we're nobody's surprised at this, that they found 53 bags of human remains in this most violent town. But the thing is, the violence stays with the druggies.
Yeah.
And the same thing happens to a degree in most of the UK. The violence stays with the violent people.
Yes, it does. John,
right. I shall be back in a sec.
John will be back in a second.
Oh.
That's all. Alarms were going off. People were storming the building. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be placed face down on the ground, hands behind his back. What's going on over there? But no, I will take this time. To segue into a plea to, if you are not subscribed to the channel and you're watching this, be it live or be it back, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. We really would appreciate that. And if you've not already, then stick a like on the video. We would also appreciate that greatly. But the one thing that you can do, to really, really help this channel take off more is share this content. Just click that share button, share it out, let people know that we are here. Evangelize and go out there and be our priests. The social media is your pulpit. Send it out.
Sorry, false alarm. Thought it was my delivery, but it wasn't.
Are we going to get more beeps like that during the show? Because I just told them that you were all being placed face down with your hands behind your back.
Yeah, I know. It's fun. It might happen again. Once. Right, anyway,
now I've asked you all to do that. Shall we move on from the drug cartels? Because it's wholly depressing.
What about Adam Kinzinger? He's really getting a hard time on Twitter. Because he doesn't have the protection. They don't have the protections anymore that the left are so used to on Twitter, are they?
No.
Because really, people are having a go at these people and they're not getting protected and they're not getting things pulled off and people aren't getting banned generally. So he's been getting a hard time and he's crying about it, basically.
Yes, he is. Basically, it's not just him. It's many people are crying about it. I mean, look at the whole Jimmy Fallon thing, right? The R.I.P. Jimmy Fallon thing. Elon, please sort this out. Please, Elon. on.
Who thought that out?
He did not post this, but he's been being memed on for his support for Ukraine.
Yeah.
And it's
quite rightly so.
And he's basically begging for help, isn't he? He's begging for these people to stop. Please stop. I mean, I get memed on. You get memed on. The show gets memed on. Me and Jess got memed on quite heavily when we used to do Revolution from a Shed.
Yeah.
It don't matter, right? It's fun, really. It's fun. And I mean, Elon Musk, who now owns Twitter, is memeing on absolutely everybody. I mean, let's look at.
I memed on Elon this morning, didn't I? In my short.
You did. But let's all look at the Count Dankula situation, which is still ongoing. He's even made a video on his second channel now, Count Dankula 2, that's simply called Elon Please. Right?
Because he's been called. He's
still called
himself. He put himself in the position himself by calling himself a
giant penis. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just so happens that he now cannot change it without losing his blue tick.
No, he can't change it at all.
Oh no, he can't change it at all. Right.
I mean, my wife can't change her screen name. Nobody can change their screen names, right?
Well, you know what? Think about these things when you make them.
Well, that was never a feature of Twitter before Elon took over. To be fair.
Yeah. Okay. But you'd need to expect a period of change when things change hands.
Speaking of change, what are the National Grid saying?
Well, the National Grid, I don't know what the National Grid were up to, because yesterday they put out this thing saying there was a possibility of a power cut at a specific time, and then they nearly cancelled it immediately.
Yeah.
So what's going on? Are they just trying to set the scene?
I think this is.
Or is it testing the waters?
It's nudge. It's nudge unit.
Yeah.
This isn't the National Grid. This is the nudge unit. Right? Yeah. This is the nudge unit in action again. Will there, won't be. Will there, won't be. Or get everybody scared. Get everybody programmed. Get everybody nice and malleable. And then drop the bomb on them metaphorically. And perhaps do it as well. And there may even be absolutely no need for power cuts and things like that. They may just do it. Yeah. Right? It's nudge. It's social engineering.
I think you're right.
It's more of the same, and people need to wake up to it, and they need to wake up to it really, really fast. Because if they don't, what our future looks like, what our children and grandchildren's futures look like, it's a hellhole. It's a hellhole. You won't know what freedom is. The word will probably be absolutely scrubbed.
So who thought it was a good idea to implement this for the first time?
See, I don't know. Okay, so the MPs can now claim Christmas parties on expenses except alcohol for the first time. The cost of giving their office a bit of festive cheer can also be passed on to the taxpayer, according to the new guidance. So right, you can now pay for their Christmas parties.
Well, there's always been the ability to take your staff out.
Yeah.
For a Christmas, well, it's not necessarily a Christmas party, right? But there's always been the ability to treat your staff once a year,
work meeting,
and get it, and you can claim it on expenses, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't get a tax break on those expenses. So business entertainment doesn't attract a tax break.
Yep.
Right. So it's at the company's expense, and while it doesn't, strictly speaking, give you a tax break, I think it doesn't count towards corporation tax.
Okay.
But it's a very limited amount. I think it's £150 per person.
Something like that. Okay.
Right. So it appears they might be doing something like this for MPs, but MPs aren't running a company.
No,
they're
in
an elected public servant role.
And what I'm assuming here is they've gone, cost of living's hitting us all hard. Everything's going to be a bit more expensive. We don't want to pay out of our £80,000 salary for a Christmas party. Can we have it, please?
Shit.
I know tough shit. You're absolutely right. Especially as there is currently a cost of living crisis caused by them cunts.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm so sorry that word came out of my mouth on this show, but these people are absolutely doing my head in. The hypocrisy, the contempt for you and me, and for the regular working person, the contempt for Granny who might freeze to death this winter, that's being shown by these people.
The problem is old people will freeze to death this winter. There's no doubt.
Yeah,
about it,
absolutely.
What happens is they're sitting there just now watching the BBC.
Yeah.
Right? And they're seeing all this about the cost of fuel and everything going up, and they're thinking, now some of these old people, like what Andrew Neil says, some of them will have money, right, and be able to pay, but the problem is, because of how they were brought up and how they think, they will become more prudent in their use of things, because they're continually getting it on the TV, so they'll start wearing blankets and jumpers and things and not turning the heating on. And it will get to them, and they'll die.
Do you know what? I'm going to
for no good reason.
I'm going to turn the heating on this winter until they turn it off. Right?
Yeah.
Even if I can't pay, I don't care anymore, because it is profiteering. I am unable to afford the bills. £350 a month as it currently sits, but
it is nothing but profiteering. Mate.
It is nothing but profiteering, and I won't be a party to it.
Don't be.
I will pay what I can afford. Absolutely. And it's not going to be anything near what they're asking. It's ridiculous.
I will be back.
John has once again stepped away. And as he has done that, I will ask you all once again to please put a like on the video. Just stop what you're doing. Hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, then please do subscribe over there. If you're on Rumble, hello. I can't actually see you, so I hope you can see and hear us. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying what we're doing. I hope you're enjoying the discussions that we're having. I will say this, it is becoming harder and harder and harder to find joy and humour in the news. It just looks like everything else is going wrong. Everything is burning down around us. It is absolutely the fault of the government. Not just the UK government, but wherever you sit. Your government. Yes, Shalini, I did hear about Jason David Frank, the guy who played the Green Ranger. He has died. He has passed away. That sucks. It sucks when anybody dies, doesn't it? I don't know the circumstances surrounding the death. I have not looked into it. I just know the death occurred. But, hey, as 90s children, or I was a 90s child. I was born in the 80s, but obviously child in the 90s. We grew up with these people on our screens. Shalini says rumours of suicide. That's even worse. That's even worse. God's sake. But then again, look what happened. Look what happened to these people. They are thrown away, aren't they? So, someone like Jason David Frank, who played the Green and White Ranger, I believe, on Power Rangers, he was on your screens for years, and then all of a sudden, the show ends, he's thrown away, he's tossed aside like a bit of trash. You need to turn your audio on, John.
Sorry. I'm back.
Hello.
You missed me? Did you miss me?
We did.
Oh, that's lovely.
We all missed you.
What were we talking about? What were we talking about?
Shalini asked if we'd seen that Jason David Frank, the Green Power Ranger, had died.
Yeah, I did. Self-inflicted?
It looks to be, from what the chat is telling me, yeah.
Yeah, I think... I think he had an upset with his wife, I think.
Well, it was probably not just that, because as I was saying, like, people like him were huge in the 90s, right? When Power Rangers was huge, he was all over your screens, he was in big budget movies, and then when that phenomenon or that version comes to an end, they just threw him away like trash, right?
But that's the price of fame.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the extraordinary efforts that people do to hang on to it. Look at Madonna. Look at the state of her.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, but that's just nothing but an extraordinary effort to try and hang on to, one, her youth, and two, her fame. You know, and it's like, see the people that grow old gracefully, it's better. Ultimately, it's better. It's better for you mentally. It's better for the people around you. And you know what? It's just better all round. I mean, I know Jamie Curtis wasn't exactly, a stunner to start with, but
no, she wasn't.
Just let it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm wonderful, but not everybody can be like me.
Well, I will say men age like a fine wine, right? We do. We age like a fine wine.
Whereas women age like a fine glass of milk.
I mean, not all. Hashtag not all.
Yeah.
Right, and once again, not all men age like a fine wine. Not all men can look as good as we do, John.
Well, that is true. I mean, you've seen some guys that look like they need a good iron.
Yeah. The king, for example.
Yeah.
Let's get the iron on there, Your Majesty.
So, speaking of men, what about Sam?
How is Sam not in prison?
I don't know, but you know what? How can the Wall Street Journal get it so wrong? How can they get it so fucking wrong?
Well, because Sam Bankman-Fried, and I think I'm going to say this, in my opinion, Sam Bankman-Fried is actually a criminal who has provable, discernible crimes.
Yeah, he does. But, I mean, and the thing is, how can the Wall Street Journal state that FTX failed because Sam Bankman-Fried supporters lost confidence in him? No, it did not.
It failed because it was a Ponzi scheme.
Exactly. It failed because it was a Ponzi scheme, and Ponzi schemes are illegal.
Yeah, well, it failed because it's a Ponzi scheme, and then one of his competitors decided to do a bank run on SBF, and he triggered a bank run. All of the people got spooked, withdrew their funds at once. SBF and FTX did not have the funds because it's a Ponzi scheme to honour all of those withdrawals, and it crashed.
The Wall Street Journal tries to tie this into this is how Donald Trump's going to come to an end as well. Well, unless he's running a Ponzi scheme, no, it won't be.
No. And I mean, I see the point they're trying to make here. The point they're trying to make is that Trump is only as good as his supporters.
Here's a point over here, and here's another point over here. And it's like, oh, we'll join up the dots. Maybe we'll build a high-speed fucking rail line between them because they're that far apart.
Yep. Yes, so, Sam Bankman-Fried is, we'll tell you who he is. He is the owner, or former owner, of the second largest Bitcoin exchange, not just Bitcoin, cryptocurrency as a whole, exchange on the planet, FTX, and it rose to prominence. It was managing billions upon billions upon billions of dollars of customers' money. It was also the second biggest donor. So what it was doing was, here's what they were doing ultimately. So the way they were really being propped up is that the US government are giving billions and billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine. Ukraine were then funneling billions and billions and billions of dollars into FTX, into crypto, into Bitcoin, into things like that. Then that money that had come from the American taxpayer into FTX was being taken out of FTX by Sam Bankman-Fried and being given to the Democrat Party as the second biggest political donor in the country. So basically, they were also embezzling money, the Democrats were, through FTX, as far as we are concerned, in our opinion, for legal reasons, right? But that's what was happening.
Yeah, it's generally called money laundering.
Yep. It does appear like it was Ukraine and FTX were a giant laundry for the American taxpayers' monies to go into the pockets of Democrat candidates.
Yep.
That's what it looks like. But, why this isn't the biggest news story in years, I don't know. The news story appears to be the collapse of FTX. Fuck the collapse of FTX. Look what they were doing. Hello?
No, it's crazy.
Look what they were doing.
They were laundering money through Ukraine, which is pretty much what we said in the first place.
And breathe. You seem to have been handed a coffee.
Mm.
Has the lovely wife been to Starbucks?
She has, on the way back from the shops.
Look at that beautiful festive cup. Show us that cup.
Yes, it's my guilty pleasure.
So it's got me in the mood, John. Got me in the mood. The hat's on. festive cheer. The lights are going out
And
on
you
the
know
tree.
what it is as well?
What's that?
It's an eggnog latte.
See, everything I just said, you just turned right off. That's it. Off.
Why? I like eggnog lattes. I love eggnog, but only if I make it myself. But anyway, right.
What in the actual fuck am I looking at here, John?
Well, I'm thinking this could be a way out for you, mate. Get along to the doctors and say you need heat to help your conditions, because patients are being prescribed heating. In Cornwall, I think it is.
Hold on. I'm just going to get my phone. Give me a minute. I'm going to put you on big screen for a second there, John. Yes, hello. Can I make an appointment, please?
You know what? We had someone come in to the gym,
Right.
whose gym membership was paid by the doctor as a prescription.
That happens. That happens. That's a real thing. They tried to do that to me. I said, what the fuck am I going to do at the gym? I've got to lift the weight and my shoulder's going to fall out. Fuck off, you twat.
But think all the hot showers you could have had.
I don't like showers, John. I like baths.
Okay.
I can soak.
Sauna?
Oh, I do. I tell you, I like a steam room.
Well, there you go. You could probably have sorted something like that out then.
Trudy asks,
so anyway, there you go.
Trudy asks, did we ever ring Bo's charity helpline? You're supposed to have done
Yes.
that, John.
Yeah, well, we tried. I
tried.
gave up phoning them after 3 days.
Yeah,
They never answered.
They didn't, no.
I mean, I did phone. I mean, Ben was there on some of the calls as I'm dialing, and it's just ringing out.
It's true.
In fact, we did it live once as well. It just rang out.
That's true.
That's true.
There we go. There we go. But if you would like to support some charity this year, then please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/Chasing Dissent, or give us a donation from Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent, or indeed, you can sponsor these wonderful balls, which I am fondling right now. And you can sponsor a ball by giving a donation of £10 or more if you'd like to paypal.me/WheelieBricks. If you sign up on the Discord, there is a sponsor Ben's Balls section there. Sponsor my balls this Christmas, please. Make sure my balls don't go cold.
So I think we're now going on to the section of the news that has a more light-hearted feel to it.
Yeah. We did promise a longer show today, by the way. We did promise you that.
The first one is slightly disconcerting, as again it shows the lack of, should we say, the lack of intelligence inherent in our species.
Jesus Christ.
Have you read it?
Is that a real tweet?
Yes,
or is that someone taking the piss?
No, it's a real tweet. I've seen it before. So obviously this person thinks that we are misogynist because
we name female cows female names.
Yeah. Well, the word cow refers to a female bovine.
Yes.
The word bull refers to a male bovine.
Yes.
You do not generally, and I say this generally, you do not generally milk a bull.
I mean, you could try.
And if you've made the mistake once, you're unlikely to repeat it.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say you're absolutely right there, John. Idiots. Well, this generation, and it's my generation really, because I am technically a millennial, right?
Yeah,
although
it's your generation, mate.
Although I am mentally where you are, right?
Yeah.
I look at the people of my own age and people slightly younger in their mid-20s and stuff like that, and I go, huh? Really? Because some of the shit they come out with, is it purely a social media thing, though? Do they just come out with this absolute ridiculousness on social media?
No, they don't.
But I mean,
it happens in real life too.
If you look at the Just Stop Oil people, yeah, it does. It happens in real life. But Shalini makes a good point here. She says maybe they're LGBTQ cows. And I
don't think cows have progressed that far yet.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
You're right, because you know what? I don't speak cow. I also don't care.
I want to address a point that Shalini made earlier, actually, on earlier on, actually, when we were talking about women aging and men aging, right? Because she said she'll be 46 soon. She looks like
Is that all?
She looks like she's 46 coming on 26. She looks great for it. She does. I said this to her partner last night when we were playing Team Trash, right? You look great on it. Calling it as I see it. She says more.
You told Vaughn he looked great on it.
I told Vaughan that his partner looks great on her age.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you just said that you told Vaughn he looked great on her.
No, but he does. He also looks great for his age, doesn't he? He also looks great for his age. I mean, what are these? What
age is he?
He's 40.
Is that all?
You thought he was up there with you, did you, John?
No, I thought he was older than Adam.
I mean, look how great John looks for 122.
Hey, I've been in the Senate for 120 years.
You have. Joined when he was 2. Did join the Senate when he was 2.
I did.
I like that. He's only 40, as if, you know, only 40. I'm 33.
Yeah, but you're. Let's face it, mate. You're like him. You're like one of those. What do you call them? Primordial dwarfs. You're aging before your time. You know.
Yeah. No,
you've got to get your living in at the front end because you're not going to get any at the back end.
No, I'm definitely not. Shall we move on to the attendance has just been announced as 41,000 and the ground holds 40,000.
I just thought this was quite funny.
Oh!
Harsh, but true.
I mean, should we laugh? This refers to the stadium in Qatar, right?
Yeah.
Should we laugh at this? Because let's face it.
Probably not, but we can laugh at everything else, so why wouldn't we?
That's true.
Yes, we should laugh, says Natasha.
I was waiting for him to push the bloody button.
That's true.
There we go. Did you know, right, you're going to hate this, John.
No,
For Friday night, for all in, Adam's got himself one.
What?
A soundboard.
Why?
He was doing it all last night.
Hey, I'll just ban him. That's it. Just ban him off the channel if he's going to start that kind of
He was having too much fun with it last night.
That's really not his job. I mean, right, this will be brought up at tomorrow's meeting.
Shalini said Adam's soundboard is cool because Shalini was watching last night. Because last night we did a Team Trash game of Fortnite.
And what kind of soundboard is this?
There's monkey noises.
Soundboard.
There's monkey noises. There's applause.
Yeah,
there's canned laughter.
He's an arsehole.
I told him. I did tell him straight, John. I told him it was getting a bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I told him. Don't worry.
Not having it.
I told him. I did tell him. He was told. But whether or not he listens, you know, it's Adam. He's going to do what he's going to do. Remember when he showed us, it was yesterday, I believe, the test for the freeway frame, which we haven't put on here yet. And he made this bloody video where he popped up in the middle and he was like, I'm the only one on the meeting. And then he popped up with a version of... He was John, wasn't he? He got the facial hair bang on.
I never saw it.
It was quite funny.
No, I doubt it.
It was quite funny. I'll give him that. Anyway... Jesus fucking Christ! Let's look at this next slide.
Don't you wish you'd done that?
A Mark Rothko painting titled Yellow and Blue sold at a New York auction for $46.5 million. This is real, right? This is true.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hate humanity.
Mm-hmm.
That's, first of all, it's the Ukrainian flag. Second of all, that's not fucking art!
No, that's just painting. Like, painting a wall.
Yes, he's got a fucking roller. He's just gone, oh, I'm going to sell it for $46.5 million and they're going to buy it. And they did. And they did.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, the word stupid is going to be used a lot going forward on this show.
So,
That's a headline.
What's racist today?
Well,
I'll tell you what's racist today.
Somehow Elon Musk.
Xbox Connect is racist.
Yes.
And I know this for a fact.
You can tell me why.
Because we had a member come in the other night, a new member to join up.
Yeah.
And our system scans them, takes their dimensions, imports it into the thingy, and then the machines set themselves so you don't have to change anything. You know, the machines set to your dimensions. But it refused to pick her up because she was black. Now,
oh God,
what made it worse was the girl that's on just now would jump in and go, "No, it's working fine," and then jump out, and she'd go back in, and it would not pick her up. They just would not pick her up. So pick up Lisa, who's white, and it would not pick up the young black lady.
But driverless cars are also racist.
Yeah, because they're more likely to run over black people. That's generally because even with the technology used in these tools, it's harder. They're harder to see.
Well, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, and I mean that's just that's not racism. That's just reality, right? And it's unfortunate.
reality.
It's unfortunate, but then again, we keep getting told that reality is racist somehow. Everything is racist, John.
Well, yeah. I mean, the whole thing's ridiculous. I mean, look at this tourist dancing in this pyramid, right? So this tourist that was dancing on the pyramid got a bollocking from the rest of the tourists because you're not allowed to climb these Mexican pyramids anymore.
Okay.
Because they don't want them defaced or worn away from erosion and things like that. So she, despite that, just climbed up it and then did a little jiggle on it and then came back down and got attacked and arrested and dealt with. It's fine.
Okay.
So it turns out she's Spanish, I think.
Right.
A Spanish tourist. And, you know, what are people thinking? What are they thinking when they do things like this?
Well, they're thinking I can do what I want.
Yeah.
She doesn't look very old.
No, she doesn't. And this is the problem with people. They're entitled arseholes generally. They think they can do what they like.
Well, yeah, and I imagine she was probably TikToking that. Do you think?
Probably
TikToking that, because this is all these people really care about is that dopamine hit. I mean, let's talk about that dopamine hit for a minute, because that is what essentially TikTok is, right? They're quick, snappy dopamine hits that either make you laugh or something like that or the other, and that's what YouTube is turning into. That's what we know this from.
Yeah, it is because we've been right. I mean, I'm not giving the game away. We've been doing shorts, as you know, if you've been watching our channel. We've been doing shorts to build up our subscriber base because shorts are good for that.
They are,
and I mean, only this morning we've gone up 20 points or something in subscribers.
Yeah, over 20 subscribers today,
just from a couple of shorts,
which is wonderful. Thank you.
So we just, and we really appreciate it. But we hope you stay around and look at some of our longer form content, such as this.
Because it's better.
And such as some of the longer form videos that we're making. Ben's in the process of making one just now. So we really hope that you enjoy what you're seeing and you get ensconced into the whole ecosystem and not just dipping into the shorts.
Yeah.
Because the shorts will still be there, but they only give you bite-sized snippets. We want to take your brain on a ride that you'll never forget.
So when's Ed the Techie back? Asks Shalini. 8th of December, isn't
it? Hold on. I'm talking about you and me, and she brings up Ed. Fuck off.
Love you, Ed.
Anyway, moving on to the next slide, talking about a ride you'll never forget. This guy can't even remember them.
Is she sexually assaulting her husband?
No.
Are you sure?
No, apparently he's having sex with her while he's asleep.
But she's clearly taking advantage of that.
Well, that's a photo. That's a stock photo. This isn't
Yeah,
a
no.
of it in action, right? So let's say they've used a stock photo.
No, I'm not. I'm not talking to the photo. I'm not speaking to the photo. I'm speaking to the situation.
No, he does all the work. He starts and he had sex with her, right? He's fully unconscious, but he does the deed, rolls over and continues sleeping, right? And in the morning when he wakes up, he doesn't even know he's done it.
Bullshit.
But she's quite happy.
Bullshit.
But apparently she's quite happy. Apparently it's very rare. Only happens like out of 1 in 16,000 people or something.
Bullshit. I call absolute bullshit. He just doesn't want to have the cuddle afterwards.
I think you're right.
So he just keeps his eyes closed, thinks of England or New York, right? Does what he needs to do and then goes, I'll pretend I'm still asleep. I can roll over and I can get away with this. Absolute BS. Bullshit. I call bullshit.
And speaking of not wanting the cuddle, this guy does. He always wants the cuddle, doesn't he?
I do love me a Thanksgiving turkey.
So, of course, they had to pardon the turkey. So,
well, tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so he did this on the White House lawn the other day. He pardoned the turkey. And I don't know if this happened or not, but I just thought it was an appropriate photograph given Biden's performance over the last couple of years.
So he pardoned the turkey as they do, so the turkey does not get turned into Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
But he's sniffing it to know what his actual Thanksgiving dinner's going to smell like.
Yeah.
Oh, I got some lovely turkey. I do love me some turkey. I tell you what, I do quite enjoy turkey when it's cooked right. I do. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
DW says Joe sniffs everything these days. Yes, he does. You know what? I'm afraid to ever be in close proximity with Joe Biden because he would lock eyes on me and go, I've got to smell that there.
That's lovely hair you've got there, miss.
Yeah, it's lovely hair you got there. Let me just take a good whiff. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Corn Pop indeed was a bad dude. We promised them a slightly longer show today, and we have given them that. Yeah. We are past the hour. But was Corn Pop a bad dude?
Going by Joe's story, yeah, he probably was he? Yeah, he probably was.
I'm gonna put something out into the ether here. I don't think Corn Pop ever existed. I don't think there was a Corn Pop.
It's like, yeah. I mean, you can ask the question. Look, who's the real bad guys? The Empire or the Rebel Alliance?
We did say 90 minutes, yes, but we don't have 90 minutes of content. I'm not going to lie.
Who said 90 minutes?
Well, I put out a post last night.
Oh, right. Why? You should have said this morning. You should have told me.
We discussed it yesterday, John.
When did we discuss it yesterday? 90 minutes?
Yes, I said we'd do a 90-minute bumper show, and you gave that post a thumbs up. So I figured you'd listened.
No, you were showing me a thumbnail, and I gave that the thumbs up.
Nope.
I didn't... A 90-minute bumper? No, I don't think so. But I think Corn Pop was a bad dude.
I do, and I think we're at 75 minutes, so we can be let off.
90 minutes. 90 minutes. You're having a giraffe, me old mucker.
You'll get 120 minutes on Friday, and you'll fucking like it. You'll not like it, you'll love it.
If you want a longer show, come along on Friday night.
Yes, come along on
Friday night so far.
And if you want us for longer periods of time, I think Team Trash will be back probably tonight to have another go on the other channel, which is 100, the number 100 Acre Swamp. We were playing Fortnite last night, and people actually came and watched us, John.
So I heard, and I have given you the challenge. If you're able to replicate this, then I might consider it a viable enterprise.
So come and watch us play some Fortnite and chat shit, because that was another selling point. We were chatting shit all of last night as well. And someone came along and gave us our team name. They said they literally popped up, said "You're trash," and went away.
And they were right.
Well, actually, that match we won.
Yeah.
So how can we be trash? But they gave us our name, Team Trash. I'll
Team
take it.
Trash.
Team...
Is that it for now? Are we always Team Trash now?
I think so. I like the name. I like the name, and I think if we're going to talk trash as well, because we could talk trash. But we'll be back tonight to play some more games around 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm not giving you an exact time because I don't know is the answer. But we'll be back tonight to play some games. I think Adam will be with us. John, are you going to join us this time? Are you going to?
I might come along and hide.
Chat. Yeah, this is why we are focused on my screen during the stream, John.
Yeah.
Because he just hides in bushes and gets in boats.
But I win. I'm there on the winning side. I have killed people with a boat. Not many people can say that.
I was doing that yesterday. I was shooting them with my boat and blowing them up. I thought, I'm going John style here, baby.
See? And now you can see the attraction, because boats' ammos don't never run out.
That's true. And we're having our...
That's true.
Andrew Stainsby says, see you later, Team Trash.
See you later.
See you later. Go and subscribe to the other channel, 100 Acre Swamp. 100 Acre Swamp, the number 100.
And if anyone's got any ideas, because we want to rebrand 100 Acre Swamp.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, because the branding was done like in 10 seconds because we changed the name and we just needed to put something up to differentiate it. So give us some ideas of what to do there.
Yeah, please do, because it's we're not going to change the name, I don't think, but we want some cohesive branding. Make it look good. Make it sound good.
Yeah.
And if you're not on the Discord, go to the Discord. Adam, put the link in the chat one more time, please. And go to the ideas section and drop us some ideas on the Discord.
Yeah, because we've already implemented an idea that came up last night.
We did.
An idea that I'd already floated and been shot down with at the morning meeting. But when it came up from you, a valued member of our audience,
DW.
the idea was taken, it was run with, it was implemented, and you can now not see it in front of you because it's been implemented.
Exactly right. And with that, John, I think it's time that we got out of here. Why is that not on top of that? That should be on top of that. Where's that even gone? But anyway, if you would like to support us, then you can do so at patreon.com/Chasing Dissent, or indeed Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent. It really doesn't matter which one you use anymore. Patreon's the better for signing up monthly. Ko-fi is Ko-fi, and we get that instantly. I would say it's a charitable...
Ko-fi does monthly signs-ups as well.
It does. We would say they're charitable donations, but the only charity you're donating to is us, right? And it's as simple as that. We want to keep this thing running. We want to grow this thing. We want to make this thing better. And with your help, we believe we can do that. The most important thing you can do is obviously share this content, like this video, and come back every Monday to Thursday at 2 p.m. and Friday at 9 p.m. to join us live. John, get us out of here.
And with that, I'd like to thank you for attending this episode 164 of Chasing Dissent Live. From me and from Ben.
It's been great. For you.
For you.
Christmas, all the Christmas trees on fire.